hi again, folks. I'm Greg Flynn with another edition of This Week in Pearl. On today's show, we'll be talking to Mayor Jake Windham for what's going on around the city. We will go under the dome at the state capitol with Senator Dean Kirby and Representative Gene Newman and see what's cooking with the legislature. We're going to tell you about something special. We're going to have two shows that Ballet Magnificat will be performing right here in Pearl next month, and we will talk to Miss Erin Beaver with Ballet Magnificat. Very cool segment. And finally, we'll tell you about some well-deserved honors for city staffers as we do This Week in Pearl. Well, we're going to start off with our mayor, Jake Windham, who has got always things cooking on his plate. You know, people always say, well, what does the mayor do every day? I mean, when there's not city council or city board meetings, what does a mayor really do? So, you know, you really don't do much, right?
No, this is probably my 7th meeting today. I think so. I think that's right. You know, it's always something for me. I almost use it. Let me start over. From a checklist standpoint, I start my day thinking about each department and trying to make sure that we're pushing the ball down the field, so to speak, making sure things are operating correctly. I think that you've been in staff meetings where I tell people, think about the thing that you can do today for the city that's going to make the greatest impact. Not the minor things, the trivial things that's just busy work. Let's think about the things that are going to make a huge impact on the city. So try to keep your eye on the ball, making sure that you're doing all the things necessary to make the city greater than what it is. Let me rephrase that. And so I keep a pretty busy schedule. You know, I'm just the same guy that everybody else has to be. If you have a family, wife and children, you got to find some work balance in there and make sure that you're taking care of home base.
Well, and you got a chance to do a little bit of that with spring break last week.
I did.
Get a little refreshed.
It was nice. My kids and I went to our camp, deer camp, rode some side by sides, and it was fun. They had a good time, and I was grateful to have it.
You know, this is a very difficult time of year, you've mentioned, because, you know, we have a lot of infrastructure problems as we transition out of winter to spring every single year. Once again, we've got, you know, people complaining about potholes. We've got a lot of water leaks across the city. And you and Public Works are getting these things addressed as quickly as possible, but it's just one of those things that we have to be patient. Is that right?
You do have to be patient, and just from some of the scale, these guys in Public Works, the water maintenance foreman, those guys work all the time. I mean, they really don't have much of a life. I mean, I'll just be perfectly honest with you. It's the nature of the beast. They are from can till can't all the time, trying to make sure that they provide water and address infrastructure issues within the city. And it's a taxing thing. And so what we try to do from a standpoint is try to organize and get better and more efficient. How can we address things? And when you're moving that fast, you're going to miss some things. And I don't think it's the perfect animal. I've talked to other mayors across the state, and it's one of those things. It's a department that a lot of balls are in the air all the time. So I'm gonna give you an example. Shane Burrell, our Public Works Director, will get 80 work orders a day. And you think about if you had 500 people, which you can't afford that on payroll,
right.
But then you start working into, I think that you've heard me on the segment talk about the triage system, critical, stable, dying, and we have to work within that. And
so you're going to fix a big water leak that's shooting everywhere, that's taking out a lot of homes before you're going to get the little trickle that's, you know, just being a nuisance.
Right. If you see the geyser, that's where we're going. I hate when I see those geysers.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's where we're going, and that's why we have the comprehensive water plan that's in place, where we identified the most problematic areas with our engineer that specializes in that. And so we have some grant funding that's going to be available for that, and some financing through DEQ that we're working on an application to directly resolve those issues. And there's a timetable on that, but we've adopted and put that plan in place. So we're going to see some improvements in those areas, as well as sewer. Right now we are smoke testing throughout the city for CCTV and problematic areas, but we're doing the entire city, so you got to recognize what your problems are in order to address them. It'll be a comprehensive thing as well. If these things don't get repaired overnight because they're very costly. But the only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time, and that's how you have to look at these projects. And I think that we have a good approach to them.
And even though it may not work in the timely fashion that some folks think, keep sending in those work orders, the citizen work orders.
That's right. And so we have problems with coming out of the wintertime, the cold and rain with asphalt. Then the winter storm, we have some streets that have some potholes right now. And the good thing is this summer we're going to do another round of paving, and we're going to make sure that we concentrate on the deteriorated areas. We had quite a bit to catch up on, but we're going to do more this summer than what we did last summer, and so that's going to be helpful as well, especially for the areas that are problematic. So hold on, help's on the way. We haven't forgotten about anybody, and we won't have these problematic areas as far as the potholes are concerned. But doing things right, doing things in an orderly manner, and having a plan in place is how we try to approach those things. And I think with the team that we have in Public Works, I think we're well on our way to making sure that our infrastructure system is very sound, and it currently is. I mean, as far as our water is concerned, but it's just a big bear. But we fight every day to try to make sure that we're doing all we can for our people, though.
You talk about problematic areas, and it's having a plan, and it's something that people, they've been clamoring for a long time, and that's the Pearl Richland Intermodal, which is the flyover bridge over the railroad tracks there on South Pearson Road. People just say, well, they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. Not true. Behind the scenes, almost every day you're working on something, and you just said that you awarded part of the contract.
Yeah, we did, and so I can provide a little bit of history. So we came in, and the city had approximately $11 million in federal earmarked funds for this project. $2 million from the MPO, which is a local organization that's housed through CMPDD that provides funds for projects such as this. This is an LPA project, so we work in conjunction with the MDOT on it. It's 80% funded federally, and it's 20% funded from the local match, which is the city. So we bid out the bridge, the entire project last year, and the lowest it ever came in was $13.5 million. Well, that's $2 million more than you have.
Yeah.
$2.5 million more. So we go back to the drawing table and trying to figure out some things of what we can possibly do in order to get that project moving. And so I asked for our engineers to pull a smaller scope out of the main project, not with the bridge, to get things going. And I think this is the right way to be. It's the smaller scope project is going to be relocating utilities that's going to be required for the larger project, taking Atkins out to 468 and upgrading the signal there. All those things have to be done anyway for the overall major bridge project. So I went to Senator Kirby and also to Representative Gene Newman and told them, I said, in order for us to bid the whole project, we need $4 more million. So our project is different than other projects in the state. There's probably some other shovel-ready projects in the state of Mississippi, but this one's actually ready to go. And we've worked very hard the last 3.5 years to make it or have it in that status at this time. And so we need that $4 million, but we're going to do this $2 million worth of work. And my statement to Dean Kirby, and he agrees, was try to do something with the money that you have now. So many times entities across the state or cities or counties will just hold on to that money and won't do anything with it. Well, we're putting our money where our mouth is. That $2 million that's going to be used in federal funds, we have a 20% match on that. So we're going to be spending our own funds. So when I go to Delbert Hoseman, or if I go to Tate Reeves, or if I go to Speaker Gunn, it's like, look, this is why Pearl's different.
We've spent the money.
We've put something in play. We just didn't sit back. And I feel like that showing some effort and production tells those gentlemen that we kind of set ourselves apart, that we really want to get things done and we're just not sitting here money grabbing.
Well, and it will expedite the project, because once it does get the green light completely, well, that work's already done and you've taken care of it, so now they can really focus on the main infrastructure to it.
True. And really, the thing that I'm so concerned about is we need the $4 million because we have a grant with the MPO for another $2 million. Well, they gave us another year of extension on that because the project came in too high last year and due to COVID from September 2021. Well, if we don't bid the overall project, then we don't receive the $2 million before September 2021. So that's why the sense of urgency is there on our end. That's why we're putting our best foot forward, doing this smaller project so we can get those funds and make it happen. For Pearl and for Rankin County, it's going to provide additional north and south transportation as a bypass to get through the county because it's going to go right into the West Rankin Parkway. You can come all the way down if something's going on I-20 or I-55, and you can have that connector so people can get home. And it's also going to spur economic development for the city of Pearl and for Rankin County. So we're excited about it, a little concerned. I know there's some things going on in the legislature right now because of the income tax bill, and the bond bill might be held up. And I'm just thinking to myself, this project really needs to go. And from my perspective, and there might be some other state leadership that feels this way, that if we could find all the shovel-ready projects in the state, because the state's received CARES Act funds, locate all the shovel-ready projects across the state. I think there's probably about 10 or 11, just like Pearl Richland. Put the needed funds to make that project work so it can be awarded. Or what do you do to the construction arena of business at that point?
Expediting
what you do? Well, here's what you
stimulus.
do. Right, you stimulate the economy right then because you directly affect the supply chain and you put people to work, and then you're selling materials. Do that statewide, and guess what? Great benefits throughout the state.
The whole state.
But that's just coming from an old mayor in Pearl, so we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I know that you're also not a weatherman, and as we wrap up this segment, we just want to pray for some dry weather so we can get that city park and our ball fields, those projects getting closer to completion.
Yeah, that city park and the weather, I'd like to tear my clothes, man.
Just dry up, please.
Sit in some ash heap or something, man, at this point. But anyway, it's part of it. They're within their contract days. I don't want anybody to think that we're in liquidated damages on what the contractors are out there. They're within their contractual time.
Yeah.
So they're not behind contractually. No. It just is frustrating because of the fact that of weather. March and April are tough months anyway. Brings some very beautiful weather. Of course, it's Easter. However, March and April are very volatile times for the state of Mississippi when it comes to weather. You have this warm air and cold air hitting, so you see tornadoes and tornadic activity, which from a mayor's standpoint, you don't sleep much when you have that type of weather. I mean, last week when all the conditions were perfect, lucky, yeah. I mean, we just thought that we were about to see an F5 hop out of the sky somewhere. And so I woke up that morning looking at weather, and I left the mayor's office, my office, about 10:30 that night, thanking God that the weather did not get as bad as it was supposed to.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed. We just want to get up with severe weather and then really dry up so that we can, those projects, you can see them. It's just, that's the good part. You can see the vision now as you drive by that it's going to look great, but it's just like, all right, get it done.
Well, it's almost like, I mean, and I know it's a little bit different, it is a different scale, but it's like when your wife tells you to do something at home and you have a project to do, and then you get it done and you walk by it about 5 times. You're so proud that it's finally done, and you see the fruits of your labor. So that's kind of how, I mean, when you look at all these projects, sometimes I'll get in my truck. If it's been, I mean, everybody has tough days of work, but get in my truck and I go ride by these projects so I can see these things coming out of the ground, because it's the fruits of your labor and everybody working together to see this thing come out of the ground. And that's rewarding. It's rewarding for me. But for us to put a bow on it will be much more. I'm ready to cut a ribbon and for kids to be playing and then playing ball and everything else. But once it finally comes to that stage, it's going to be something very nice for our city.
Oh yeah, and cars on West Rankin and East Metro, and man, it's just a great time to be in Pearl, I tell you that.
It is. It's a great day. It's always a great day to be a pirate, but we're doing a lot of things right now in this city.
Absolutely. That's why we are the jewel of the crossroads.
That's it. Yeah, catchy saying there, Greg.
All right. Well, Mayor, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it. I always do. I'm always glad to provide an update to our citizens because I think providing the transparency is something that's very important to me. And you know as well as I do, we're an open book. We try to make sure that we display as much as we can and push out as much information that's available to our citizens.
Excellent. Well, you keep fighting a good fight.
I'll do it, man. I love it.
All right, we will be back with more This Week in Pearl. We'll go under the dome with Dean Kirby and Gene Newman right after this.
Hello, I'm Mayor Windham, and I'm thrilled to show you the city creating its own future. Pearl is located in Rankin County, the fastest growing county in Mississippi, and there's no question why. Access to great schools, even better shopping, and unbridled beauty make Pearl a town that truly embodies its name. And with a truly exceptional team of first responders, public safety is another key component of our success. With fantastic housing opportunities from quaint suburban neighborhoods to gorgeous lakefront properties, there's a place for you here in Pearl. You can't beat the location. Right outside of Pearl is the crossroads of the South, where Interstate 20 meets Interstate 55. From here you can travel anywhere within the state or the country. Or you can choose to stay right here in Pearl to enjoy a Mississippi Braves baseball game or experience the small town atmosphere, community pride, and heart of the local residents.
Welcome back into This Week in Pearl. We're now going to head under the dome over at the state capitol and bring in our distinguished gentlemen from Rankin County, who are also kind of influential up there on the Hill. At least, Gene likes to say that Dean is. Senator Dean Kirby, the pro tem of the Senate, and Representative Gene Newman over in the House. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Everybody enjoy their spring break, sort of?
What is that? I've heard of that. No, we worked.
You worked through.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess, before we jump right in, I know that the state income tax is a hot topic over there at the Capitol, state revenue, how we're doing on that. How do we stand on the state income tax? Because I think the ball was in the Senate's court last I heard.
It was, and we did not bring that bill out, and so we thought it was dead. We think it needs more study, and actually we've passed a bill out of my committee, Rules Committee. Senator Harkins is the author because he also is finance chairman, and it's on the calendar, and our bill simply states that we will form a study committee, a joint study committee with the House, and name several other people. I think it's about 11 on that study committee, and we hope that we can all get together and have time. Now, what we've been told is the Speaker and some others have been working on that bill for like 4.5 years. We didn't know that. We knew that he was interested in it, but we didn't know they were actually working on it. And we got it in 2.5 weeks. We had to make a decision. And after numerous phone calls from retirees and various organizations, we decided it needed more study. So that's where we are. We have a bill that I'll probably bring out today or tomorrow and pass on the floor without a doubt, send to the House, hopefully they'll take it and form a study committee, and maybe we can work something out, during the summer. But it was just kind of a sudden deal for us, and we're not, we want to make sure we're doing the right thing.
Well, Gene, what are you hearing on the House side in regards to that income tax?
Well, the bill that we had, as he said, they took it and they disintegrated it. But we added that language. The House added the language with some modifications to it. We cut the brackets back in order to eliminate the farmers and the manufacturers from the bill, and added it into a bill and sent it back to them. We still believe it's the right thing to do. We're still trying to figure out a way to eliminate the income tax, and it's a reason there's two houses.
That's right.
We need to, we might have a great idea, and sometimes it might not be such a great idea when it goes over there, but the process works. It's been proven to work for a long time.
That's right.
And it will work this time. So if they don't take it up, then they send a study bill over, then hopefully we can keep moving forward. The objective of the game is to eliminate the state income tax and do it as fairly and equitably as it is to everybody else as we can.
For the folks that are tracking it at home, though, so the bill, as you said, is kind of rewritten, but is still live, but is not a standalone anymore.
That is correct. It is in a bond bill that the bond bill that issued bonds for the colleges and junior colleges. It was put into that bill and sent back over to them.
All right. So, Senator, where does that stand? Is it when it goes?
That means we'll probably take it out and pass our bill, take that out, send it back to them, and they'll invite conference. So it keeps going. And look, we're not saying that it's a bad bill. We're just saying that we're not sure it's a good bill yet. We're undecided, and we've had actuaries and CPAs and everyone that you can imagine, even out-of-state people, look at it, and some say it can, with certain modification, be a good bill, and others say it's a terrible bill, and then some say it's a good bill. So we're really torn on this thing, and we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing. And let me say this, that even a great bill a lot of times takes at least 3 years to pass. And we've been trying to get money, as you know, for our new Highway Patrol headquarters now for 15 years. It took 20 years out here for this
The crime lab?
treetops. What am I trying to say? What is that called?
East
West
Rankin?
Rankin.
East Rankin over there.
No,
No,
that's
East
West
Rankin that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both under construction now.
Both of them are under construction.
Yeah.
now.
Both of them are.
That's the important thing.
That's
But
the thing.
it took a long time on both of them. I mean, you think about how long the East Rankin that you just referred to over here at Crossgates has been worked on. I mean, it started out 25 years ago.
That's right.
On I-18 down there south of Brandon. That's where it began, and then it jumped up to the north, and because Gary Rhodes really got to pushing it, and
You've been left with that empty middle way for a while.
and he,
And-
Gary
yes.
Gary and the mayors here in Pearl and the airport have worked together, and they've put it together so that it's in phase 3 just started. If you drive down the El Dorado Road, you'll see the new roadway being cleared coming across. It started at Crossgates Boulevard coming back. So, it's going to work out. You see the work going on right here
At
on
West Rankin.
West
Yeah.
Rankin.
And that will be, when those two projects are completed, it'll mean so much for new development for this area, but also for those people that are fighting that traffic on Lakeland Drive, the Stack, Old Brandon Road, Highway 80, whatever. Lakeland Drive, it's just going to really, really make a difference. It's going to take a lot of that traffic off, because both of those really are bypasses, is what they are. I mean, one of them on Lakeland Drive there by, near Prep, Applebee's, right there, treetops. I mean, you'll get on it there and come out in Richland. And if you think about what a great project that's going to be. And then, of course, the other one you can get on and go all the way to Brandon and on down to Highway 18 to Puckett.
That'll be great.
From Dogwood to Puckett in no time.
One of the things I like that we're going to be able to preview, and we'll talk about it more after it passes or whatever comes out of it, is that bond bill where you mentioned the new Highway Patrol headquarters, which would move from Jackson here to Pearl. Right next to the new crime lab where they want to build it, where they've been wanting to build it. So we could be talking about more jobs moving back into Rankin County.
Absolutely.
Which will be fantastic.
At least 300, yes.
I mean, and it's,
jobs.
we finally get the Highway Patrol headquarters over here by Emlota, where the Highway Patrol train's at, and it will make a lot of difference for all of them.
Well, it'd be great access for them to get to I-20.
And next to MEMA,
right there.
next to the crime lab, next to all those things. That's exactly
Department
what
of
it should
Environmental Quality right there. It's like a little state complex.
And I want to give also Gene and Tom Weathersby. Tom Weathersby's been working on that project as long as I have, which was like 15 years. So it takes a long time, but I think we've got it pretty well worked out if we can have a bond bill.
Yeah.
But this intermodal that we're going to have, all we like is having the money for the bridge, which is in the bond bill.
Yeah, this is for that bridge that will cross over on South Pearson, the Pearl Richland intermodal over the train tracks, where everybody knows that when a train's there, you can't get fire engines, you can't get ambulances, police, anything, much less people going home.
Yeah, it'll hopefully we'll work that out this year.
Let's hope.
And, you know, I mean, I've even talked to the lieutenant governor and the appropriations chairman if the bond bill fails, trying to get $2 million appropriated to it. So hopefully, and I'm sure Gene's doing the same, and we're going to do everything we can do to make sure that happens.
Well, I'm looking forward to not only those projects, but I know you all got some good news last week that state revenues are well above projections from where you sine-died last year. So that's got to be some good news, right?
It is. You know, we've got over $500 million more, above estimate. So, yeah, and we built in some for the estimate. So we're in good shape. In addition, total, we've got, counting all of our reserves, and I've heard 800 million, but I've also heard $1 billion. But we can't use that for pay raises and things, but honestly, because it's one-time money, and you know, we'll find ourselves like
part of that money is money from last year's income tax collections that was delayed.
That's right.
After our budget year started. We didn't get in until afterwards because of the extensions they did on the income tax filings last year.
Yeah, the federal went from April to July, and then we jumped on as a state and said, okay, we'll match the federal side. So it went into July, but that's our new fiscal is July, and their new fiscal in the federal starts in October.
So we got income tax from the year before.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's kind of deceiving. It's nice to have now. It hurt us last year, but it's nice to have now. But again, hopefully we can use some of that money to do some of these projects.
I think the best way for people to understand about this one-time money, it's like, okay, everybody's getting all this stimulus from the federal government, right? Which is a lot of what the state has gotten as well. So
that's right.
You're getting a one-time shot in the arm, no pun intended, of money, just like people at home are, and you can spend it on one thing, but I wouldn't go out and buy a house off of your newfound money because you're going to have continuing payments, just as what you got. Right?
That's exactly right. You got to think in the future. Even though I think sometimes in Washington they don't. But
no.
But we do balance our budget every year, and I don't know if people know that or not. But every year we balance the budget. So.
Which is why we don't get in bad shape, and our
that's
credit
correct.
Rating and bond rating are pretty good as a state.
And our rainy day fund
is full.
It's full, and that's important.
Actually, it's got like 500 million in it. So, and then the tobacco trust fund, and then we've got some other funds. And when you put it all together, you're $1 billion.
The state's in really good shape.
We are. And I told someone we actually got money for these one-time projects. A lot of times I'm going to change my last name to Rockefeller. As long as I've been in the Senate, I've never had, or we've never had taxpayer, it's their money, not ours, and we've never had that much taxpayer money to play with for some of these projects that are really needed, and we really want to do them.
Well, we'll see how long. I know the clock's ticking as our folks that travel west from Pearl, how long this MDOT I-20/I-55 split will be taking. That's a, whew. Any ideas?
No.
Well, and we did talk about it the last time. You know, we talked about the ice storm and some of the challenges that MDOT had. There is actually a new director at MDOT, as the Senate did not confirm.
That's right. Well, I think he's a temporary director, isn't he? I don't think
y'all haven't confirmed it.
Jeff Altman, but you did not confirm Melinda McGrath, the former executive director.
Well, that's true. The Senate has to confirm that type of appointment for state agencies, and we're having some problems there. And I think she probably did the right thing, seeing that there were some problems. She resigned, and I think that was good on her part.
Well, hopefully we can get MDOT. You know, everybody jokes about, MDOT. It's going to take 50 years. That's what it seemed like. I-55 South felt like it took going down to Byram, between Jackson and Byram.
49.
Highway 49, which right now is good grief.
Yeah, we've got another couple of years probably on that.
I think I can get to Grenada faster than I can Florence from Pearl.
Yeah, that's why we need this. That's why we're trying to get this money for this bridge and have the cut through. That's right.
Well, we're hoping that MDOT certainly does become a bit more efficient.
Yes.
They're so important to us.
And look, our commissioners are good people, and they want to do the right thing. No one's criticizing them at this point, and so we're going to work it out.
Very good.
But it just takes time to do some things. It's
I mean,
a lot of red tape, but
and we talk about 49, but 49 has fought. First off, they fought the weather. This crazy weather the whole time they've been working down there. But they also had issues that they had bad dirt right along the edge of the highway that they didn't know was there, and then they had to be dug up. So they've had a whole lot of issues down there that they've had to go back and redo stuff that they didn't think they were going to have to do. And that's the reason it's taking so long. And that same thing was with 55. They had the same issue with the bad dirt right alongside the highway. So
on 55 South.
yeah, it's coming.
But it'll all be worth it. It'll all be worth it.
Oh, when it's done,
someday.
absolutely.
We're all going to smile, and we're going to be happy and excited that it's finally finished. I look forward to that day.
Well, I mean, it may be when my 8-year-old gets to be my age that it'll be done, but
But at least we're working on it.
Oh yeah. Hopefully, all of us.
When
will
I
be
say
around to see
working,
it.
I'm not saying trying to do it. We are doing it. We are doing it.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much. I know you are very busy, and I thank you for taking the time to come in each and every week.
Well, I guess the press sometimes thinks that we fight, but Gene's one of my best friends here, and we get along great, and so do the others. It's just sometimes a difference of opinion on some of the leadership. So
Hey, if everybody was a rubber stamp, we'd never really get anything accomplished because there's no collaboration at that point.
wouldn't need a legislature, we'd just have a king for the state.
Gentlemen, thank you. Good luck as you end out the session.
Thank you very much.
All right, we will be back with more This Week in Pearl right after this.
Come find your taste buds at the Lost Cajun. Chef Charles is cooking everything to order. Cajun classics like gumbo, jambalaya, and red beans and rice. Pick your po' boy, shrimp, oyster, roast beef, or maybe gator. Proudly serving USDA farm-raised catfish. When you're done, loosen the belt up a bit for some homemade beignets. Dine in, take out, order online, and get it delivered. Reserve our party room for your group. Find your way to the Lost Cajun in Pearl and Byram.
Welcome back into This Week in Pearl. We've now got a special treat about a special performance, a couple of them that are coming up right here next month over at Pearl High School, and it is Ballet Magnificat. And joining us now is Miss Erin Beaver, who will talk to us a little bit about this performance. Erin, man, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me here. It really is a delight. Thank you.
We are super excited that we're going to get two performances, April the 17th and April the 18th, correct?
That is right. So Ballet Magnificat is based in Jackson, Mississippi, but most of our productions are outside of the state, even outside of the country. And so it's rare for us to be able to perform in the metro area. And we are really excited. We're doing a spring series that weekend in April, the 17th and 18th, with two of our very favorite productions. So we're excited to be here in the metro area.
Well, now how in the world is Pearl blessed to be the location for you to come and perform at our Performing Arts Center?
Yeah, well, we've really discovered that the Pearl High School Auditorium is a great facility. And I think it's a little bit of an unsung treasure within the metro area. So we discovered that, and hey, this is a great place to do a ballet. The stage and the auditorium works great. So honestly, we just sort of discovered it recently, and we thought, this is a wonderful place.
Well,
we're going to come back.
That is awesome. Your two shows that you'll be doing. So April the 17th will be Deliver Us, and then April 18th will be The Hiding Place. What can you tell us about both of those shows? First, Deliver Us.
Yes, absolutely. So on the 17th, Deliver Us. This production, we've toured it for about 20 years, and it's set to the epic music from the Prince of Egypt soundtrack. So I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but the music, the score is just excellent. And the story is it's Moses delivering the Israelites out of Egypt. And this is, both of these stories really that we're doing are, you don't have to be a ballet aficionado to enjoy these productions. You just come, you don't have to know anything about ballet. It just hooks you. It's a fast moving, fast paced piece. It's both of these, actually, these two shows that we're doing are my favorites. The 18th, so on April 18th, that one is going to be Hiding Place, which is the true story of Holocaust survivor Corrie ten Boom. So this is a story that is a powerful story of forgiveness, a powerful story of hope in the midst of unimaginable suffering, obviously with the backdrop of World War II, you can imagine that. And yeah, both pieces just hook you, just bring you right in, and they're some of our very favorites.
Boy, but just two great stories of survival and perseverance.
That's right.
Of the human spirit, especially as we approach Easter time. You know, how fitting could we have had two of these type shows? And I'm sure that is what went into it.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, we've been touring these pieces for years and been able to tour them in, you know, a lot of different places, like I mentioned. But we find them even more timely now than ever, you know, of course, with the events of 2020 and just the story of bravery and hope and persevering and strength, even when things are difficult. We found that it's more timely than ever.
Boy, we're coming up hard to believe. I mean, it feels like it's been 5 years, but it's only been a year that we've been in COVID lockdown. How has that affected the company, the traveling company? Because, you know, entertainment industry has just been devastated across the country. So how has that affected you all?
Yes, well, obviously we've felt the sting of it. Bal Magnificat is a performing group, and we travel a lot with our performances. And we also have a school of the arts as well for students to learn and to study ballet. So for sure, we've felt the sting of it. You know, in the last spring, we were just shut down like everybody else was, and then as restrictions have lifted slowly and steadily, we've kept with those and really been thankful to be able to continue. This has been, you know, kind of a death sentence for many arts organizations, like you said, and especially ballet companies. And it's really God's grace that we've been able to continue, been able to you know, still do what we do. And yeah, we're moving forward and also taking a bit of you know, the message of hope and strength in the midst of challenges there. And we've really seen God provide for us. It's been amazing.
Well, certainly these two performances are about hope and strength. And what's the best way that people will be able to get tickets to this event?
Yes, online, balletmagnificat.com/spring-series. So balletmagnificat.com/spring series, or you can call our offices. The number for that is 601-977-1001.
Now, you'd love for people to get these in advance, but it will be available day of?
Yes,
at the box office?
It will. And of course, the seats are reserved seating, so you know, the sooner you get them, the better the seating. But Pearl High School Auditorium is really a great auditorium, so even no matter where you sit, you really have a good view. Well,
it's going to be super exciting to have you all here. I know that hopefully you're going to expand it to an audience that you're probably not used to exposing the ballet to, perhaps.
Yeah, thank you so much. You're right. You know, so often we don't get a chance to perform in the Jackson metro area, even though Ballet Magnificat has been based here since 1986. So this is home for us, and all of the dancers have moved from various places, and Mississippi has become home for them. But we don't get a chance to perform here very often, outside of our Christmas productions that we do. And so this is really a special treat for us. It's kind of a little one-of-a-kind opportunity for us to be able to perform these shows right here in this area.
Well, we want to support you as best as we can, because we want you to make it a permanent tradition here. Where
that would be great. We would love it.
You make Pearl kind of your home. All right, so Deliver Us April 17th, Hiding Place April 18th at the Pearl High School Auditorium. Erin Beaver, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
We look forward to seeing you. We'll be back with more This Week in Pearl right after this.
WPBP and PMB TV would like to thank our latest sponsor, Dunkin Donuts. Dunkin Donuts is located at 403 Riverwind Drive. With over 32 different types of donuts, they can take care of your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can now choose from their menu of sandwiches, wraps, and muffins. And don't forget the drinks. Along with coffee, espressos, and lattes for your morning drive, they also have soft drinks, cold brew coffees, and smoothies. The Pearl Pirates run on Dunkin Donuts.
Well, as we wrap things up, I want to share with you some great accolades to some city employees that have gone out recently. I want to start with our Pearl Employee of the Month, and that is our Deputy Court Clerk, Brianna McGee. Brianna, she graduated from Pearl High School and also graduated from Gulf Coast Community College and from the University of Southern Mississippi with a degree in criminal justice. Now, usually the only time you'll see Brianna is if you have business with the court, but she is a sweet young lady and is really, really good at her job. She was honored with some Chamber of Commerce goodies in a nice basket. Now, our firefighter of the month is Mr. Nick Welch. He began his career with Pearl Fire Department in March of 2017, and over the last 4 years, he has been the epitome of training and learning new techniques and making all the firefighters around him even better. So Nick was honored with another Chamber of Commerce gift basket, which is going to be real nice for he and his family because they're going to be able to eat out a lot. So congratulations to Nick Welch, our firefighter of the month. And 2 service awards went out recently, both in the police department. First to Captain Amanda Thomason, as she is celebrating 20 years on the Pearl Police Force. Man, that is just absolutely awesome. Amanda is a 1997 Pearl High School graduate, and she went to Hines Community College, and she went and started her career back with Pearl Police in 2001 as a dispatcher and has now moved all the way up to captain. So congratulations and well-deserved for Amanda. And also we have Detective Justin Barnett, who is celebrating 10 years in the Pearl Police Department. He is also a graduate of Pearl High School and Hines Community College. He started at Pearl in 2003 as a reserve officer, and now he's one of our leaders there in the Criminal Investigations Division. So congratulations to Amanda and to Justin, and we hope that you're celebrating 30 and 20 years down the line, respectively. Well, that's going to do it for this week in Pearl. I am so glad that you joined us. Until we talk next time, remember, the city of Pearl is the jewel of the crossroads.